What is going on, you guys? This is your boy Tropical Thunder, and today I'm back again with a brand new video for you guys. In the background, I'll be playing some Forza Motorsport 6, but I'll be mainly talking about Forza 7. We received the E3 trailer for E3 2017, and this video that I'm gonna be talking about is mainly to recognize the developers, because obviously they've done a very hard work at their job, but also the things that I wanted to add to my wish list. But at the same time, things that have also been brought up in the forums, regardless if they're being things that they want and the other community members want in the game, and also problems that have always been reoccurring year after year, and things that hopefully the community members would have liked to have changed in Forza Motorsport 7 if they have not done yet so for this game. So I'd like to acknowledge the developers of the game, obviously, for making us this great game. You know, a lot of hard work was obviously put into it, and we thank you for always giving us the best content, the best graphics, and the best gameplay the gameplay experience that we can have every year. You know, you guys always give your 100% effort, and you always provide us with the best gaming experience, racing gaming experience for every motorsport game. I just wanted to say a couple of new things very briefly about the game coming in this year. So we all know that Xbox One X was announced at E3 2017, and for Forza Motorsport 7 it's going to be running 60 frames per second at 4K resolution. At launch it will start with 700 cars, and that's a huge improvement from Forza 6, because Forza 6 only had 450 cars. On top of that, this Forza Motorsport 7 will have the biggest lineup of Porsche cars added into the game. There will be 30 tracks, the addition of bike track, which was seen at E3 2017, and also the re-addition of the Maple Valley, Mugello, and Suzuka back into Forza Motorsport 7. We will have a full dynamic weather system that changes during the race rather than setting the weather for the entire race. So instead of setting a specific race to be sunny all throughout the race, it changes while you're racing. Some cosmetic changes that were added to the game were the windshield wipers that shake, window netting ripples during the gameplay, and our driving outfits and helmets will also be customizable, and you'll be able to change your outfits and also change your helmet styles. We did have this option back in Forza 6, but it was just changing your drivers. It was changing them from female to a male, and that was basically it. They've also expanded the compatibility of racing wheels for this game, meaning that if you have an old PS4 or an old Xbox racing wheel, you could use it for this game. As far as the list of compatible wheels, I have no idea what they are, but from what I've heard, it's pretty much every wheel. Now, to go on to the things that there's the problems that are still out there and still have been left unanswered, and some of the things that I wish for in the game, and also what I've seen in the forums and what community members are saying in videos or in the forums, or basically what they're commenting. These are some of the things that are still there, and they're still left unanswered, and have always been unanswered for the past motorsport games. So starting off with multiplayer, I want to start off with custom lobbies, and it still hasn't come back to us. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to come back to us in Forza Motorsport 7, and I just want to know why. I feel like it'll give us a better understanding, and people will be less angered and confused why it's not coming to Forza Motorsport 7, and why, if it's not possible, then why is it not possible. As far as the multiplayer experience, we know that there are those drivers who are just not good at the game, but there are people who troll and drive recklessly on purpose. Hopefully Forza Motorsport 7, they have a solution for this, and hopefully that they improve some of the mechanisms that are already implemented in the game, like for example ghosting and being able to kick people out of the lobby. Also customization, hopefully they improve the customization that we have coming into Forza Motorsport 7. Throughout the Forza series, we've always seen a lot of cut and paste when it comes to the engine parts, the suspension, the tires, and the rims of the game. A lot of it has been cut and paste, and hopefully some of the creativity shows coming into Forza Motorsport 7, because the announcement of Xbox One X, they take full potential and they take the full capabilities of the Xbox One X in order for us to have more features and much more variety that we can customize with our car. In Forza Horizon 3, we received wide body kits, and hopefully that they expand upon that. Hopefully they don't just give us 1 or 2 new wide body kits for the whole game. Hopefully they, over time, they use their creativity to be able to bring us more customization options for wide body kits. But as far as the kits that we already have for the game, as far as like bumpers, side skirts, wings, hopefully they make new kits for us to use on our cars. I hope they show that they creativity in Forza Motorsport 7, and hopefully it isn't like what I said, a lot of copy and paste that have been seen in past motorsport series. As far as the wheel and racing wheels, they did expand the amount of wheels that we can use in the game, right? So hopefully coming into Forza Motorsport 7, a big issue was not being able to use our wheels to its maximum capacity. For example, a lot of us were complaining that the force feedback, the handling, and the physics of the game weren't optimized for our wheels. A lot of us have these very, very expensive rigs. I don't have an expensive rig, I have a pretty decent one, but there's a lot of people who put their time and they put their money and effort into trying to use their wheel for this game, and it's just very disappointing sometimes when we are let down. We can't use our wheels for this game, and we do understand that Forza is always going to put the gamepad and controllers, they're always going to be first priority, because obviously Forza Motorsport, any Forza Motorsport game or Forza Horizon game has always been optimized for controllers, since it is on a console. We do understand that, and we understand that this year they improved, or they did some huge improvements for the wheel users of the game. But as the weeks go by, hopefully that we receive more information. As far as tracks, something that was very highly requested for Forza Motorsport 7 coming in was certain tracks to come back to the game. For example, Fujimi Kaido was very, very popular in Forza Motorsport 4, and then I know it's been in other Forza Motorsport series, but it's been asked to come back and it hasn't come back. And I think I know the reason why it's not coming back to Forza Motorsport 7. And I think since it's a fictional track and it's not a real one, the developers can't use laser tracking to make this track. And a lot of creativity and a lot of development would have to come in and be able to make this track. And if it's not coming in like to the base of the game, hopefully they do give us some type of like DLC. And to conclude all this, at the end of the day, we know that developers, they know what the direction and the tone that they want to set for this game. Obviously they're the ones who make it, so they're obviously the ones who can only make the final decisions for this game. And us as community members and the players of the game, we can only give the developers a wish list of the things that we want, the problems that we know that are out there, and be able to present it to them. And it's their responsibility to react to these problems and to the things that we want, right? But sometimes as community members, things that we see and the things that have been brought up time after time, they start to stack up. And there's this trend that's starting with the Forza Motorsport series, where we're only getting things little by little, like in breadcrumbs. The big issues that are out there, they're not being resolved, and sometimes they get worse. The wish list that we want in the game, they get bigger, and Forza needs to provide. They need to innovate, and they need to be able to meet demands of the community, especially when a lot of development, it adds features that we don't necessarily want in the game. For example, windshield wipers that shake at 20 miles per hour. I know they're trying to go for that immersive feel, but not only is it not requested, but it's not even realistic. It doesn't happen in real life, and it really disappoints some of us community members when the developers, they say stuff like, oh, we have no more room for development, we don't know what else to do. And that's sort of like a slap in our face, because there are all these issues being brought up and things that we want, features that we really want in the game that do make sense and it's highly requested, but we know that when they say stuff like this, then that means that the game is pretty much over, and that everything is pretty much set in stone. And on top of the announce for the Xbox One X, like Forza 7, it pushes the Xbox One X to only use 80% of its GPU and 70% of its CPU. And I get that the Xbox One X is like this monster and it's beast, but it really questions Forza, because it's not pushing it to its limit, or it's not pushing it to its full capacity. If not to its full capacity, but close enough to where it's pushing it to its limit. It's almost like it's trying to be like a bag of Cheetos, where it's only like 70% bags of actual chips and then 30% bag of air. Like, that's not supposed to be the case. But all jokes aside, I really just wanted to bring out that there is always room for development, and the big things, the big issues and the features that we really want in a game need to be out there in order for the community to be happy and in order for the community to be healthy. And we all, at the end of the day, we all want this game to be successful, and we all want to have the best gaming experience. And sometimes in forums, sometimes the videos that are out there and the comments that are being said are not always positive, but for a lot of us who are commenting daily on the forums and you know, letting the developers know, we want to know that we want them to know that a lot of this comes from the heart, and we want them to know that we want the best for this game, and we want things to improve, and we want them to know the issues with the game. So that's all really that I have for today. I mean, I'm gonna be rambling if I still go on. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Hopefully the developers do see this, and I'll see you guys later.